Two teenage girls lost their lives early this morning after what investigators are calling a subway surfing incident at the Marcy Avenue Broadway station in Williamsburg, Brooklyn.
Our kids are going subway surfing on top of a subway like this. This is what happens when people are chasing validation instead of chasing purpose with God. Two teenage girls gone in an instant, all because they wanted to have a viral moment. Now, family members have been left shattered, communities are broken, and all for what? Likes, views, clicks on a video that people are just going to forget about the next day. Now, this story broke my heart because it's clearly a painful reminder of how our young children are being guided by social media and risking the one life that God has blessed us with, that God has given us in order to use, in order to be a fulfillment in life for his purpose. So I wanted to review this particular clip, and I wanted to go over this news story, and hopefully this can be a reminder to any other young Christians that are watching this particular video to please follow God first before you follow clicks, views, and viral moments. But before we get into this, please do me a quick favor by hitting that like button, subscribing if you enjoy more faith-based content, and please share this with your family and friends so that we can be a blessing to each other. Let's get into it.
Well, that tragic incident happened here behind me at this subway station on Marcy Avenue station here in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. But I did get the chance to speak with the president of Passengers United about safety concerns and ideas to combat subway surfing. Two teenage girls lost their lives early this morning after what investigators are calling a subway surfing incident at the Marcy Avenue Broadway station in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Police say it happened around 3 a.m. when the girls were unconscious on the tracks. They were pronounced dead at the scene.
The stupid things that people do for a viral moment.
Commuter Savannah Spirit, who rides the Marcy Avenue line every day, says the danger feels too close to home.
I would recommend not doing that because inevitably you're going to die. It's just suicide.
She says subway surfing has become a tragic trend pushed by what's popular online.
I blame social media and the internet. So I think that it looks like a cool thing to do, and so they try it out, and then inevitably they get killed.
So far this year, police have stopped more than 100 riders from subway surfing. Since 2023, the NYPD has been deploying.
Look at that. No, let's go back. Look at this. Our kids are going subway surfing on top of a subway like this, truly thinking that they're in a Marvel movie. You know, y'all have ever seen those Marvel movies where they have the action sequences that they're on top of the trains and they're fighting on, bah, bah. And they think that they can do the same thing in real life, even though those movies are fake, even though those movies are just entertainment. They're thinking they can do the same thing with the one life that God has blessed them. Look at them right there. This is what happens when people are chasing validation instead of chasing purpose with God. This is what happens. They're chasing the validations. They're up there, they got the phone. Got to get that viral moment so that somebody on the other side, they can look at this and be like, oh, yeah, oh, man, yeah, you did that. Yeah, boy. Oh, did you see that? Oh, my gosh. Not understanding that you could have fallen either on the left or the right. You could have slipped. Those train tracks, they're deadly. And you could have been gone. All because you wanted that one viral moment. We can't risk our lives like that. I understand, because when I was growing up, one of the biggest fears of mine was just getting caught being in a car with one of my friends, and I know good and well I shouldn't have been in that car with my friend. And then my friend getting into an accident, and all of a sudden I get injured and my parents didn't know. You all know that. You try to say, hey, we're going to go sleep over at a friend's house, and all of a sudden you're at your friend's house, but then you end up going to a party that that you shouldn't have been at, and then all of a sudden you go to that party and somebody starts fighting, somebody gets hurt, somebody gets unalived. Those were the risks that I took too. And I took those risks, and I truly understood how, painful that could have been to my parents, and I truly understood how much that I probably shouldn't have been doing those things. But subway surfing, literally getting on top of a train, that is another level of fear that parents shouldn't have to endure. And that's another level of fear that our Christian children, our Christian young men, our Christian young women should not have to do, should not have to risk your life the one life that God has given you, because you have so much more to achieve in life versus just a viral moment. But let's take a look at this a little bit more.
Has been deploying drones to stop subway surfers, spotting them from above in real time and allowing officers to stop trains at the next station to safely remove riders before they get hurt. Year to date, at least 3 people have died subway surfing.
We're devastated.
Charlton D'Souza is the president of Passengers United. He says he would like the NYPD to secure the doors between the subway cars and urges people to use the emergency intercom to report passengers walking between cars.
We want New York City Transit to put a lock on the doors, mechanism to stop, to allow, that wouldn't allow the young people to climb up.
The MTA and NYPD are pleading with riders to speak up and stop the trend before more lives are lost. We received a statement from NYC Transit President Demetrius Critchlow saying in part, quote, "It's heartbreaking that 2 young girls are gone because they somehow thought riding outside a subway train was an acceptable game. Parents, teachers, and friends need to be clear with loved ones. Getting on top of a subway car isn't surfing, it's suicide." And the investigation is ongoing. Police are urging folks that no viral or video moment is worth risking your life.
I think it's quite unfortunate. Like, we live in a time where your worth is measured by likes, clicks, views, and followers instead of your character, instead of the character that God has blessed you with, instead of the genuine traits that God has given you in order for you to be successful. And I truly think that that's dangerous, because when attention becomes your God, when your phone and social media and TikTok becomes your idol before God, then you'll sacrifice your life trying to please it. You'll continue to always sacrifice something in order to get that adrenaline, in order to get that, that validation on the other side. That everybody's like clicking that video because you did that dangerous thing. It's like, yeah, you did that. Yeah, 1.5 million views. But not knowing that you risked your life, not knowing that one slip that you could have been gone. And then nobody would mourn you outside of your family. Social media wouldn't mourn you. They would just look and be like, oh man, that's crazy. And then they move on to the next thing. We got to be better. We got to do better. And parents, as a parent, it's got to be real. Like, I know I put my parents through some things as well too. But at the same time, in this day and age, it's got to get real. Like, we can't be blind to what our kids are watching. We can't be blind to what our kids are doing. We can't just hand them the phone and just hope for the best, right? We can't just do that. We've got to check their locations. We got to see what they're posting. We got to talk about what's real with them. And we also got to make sure that we get a Bible in front of them. We got to get them into the church. We got to keep them grounded and connected with good moral thinking, versus thinking that they can just jump up on the subway train and thinking that that's the best thing in life to ever do. Because at the end of the day, the internet shouldn't be raising our kids. We should. If we don't teach them their worth, if we don't teach them how much God loves them, if we don't teach them that they have a God-given purpose to achieve anything in life that they put their mind to, then social media is going to teach them, and social media is going to drive them to do things like this for clout. Now, here's another angle of another train station that was reporting that there was some subway surfing going on with our young teenagers these days. Well, then let's take a look at this crazy video.
Caught on camera train surfing in Bushwick. One Flatbush woman says that she captured it all on accident. And News 12's Karina Gary is at the Chauncey Avenue station with that exclusive video.
Not one, not two, but at least 4 people seen riding on top of the Chauncey Street J train.
My video doesn't even do its justice. There was like at least 15 kids on that train.
Wow. It was just past 6 p.m. when Deja Alcius was enjoying a beautiful day in her Bushwick neighborhood.
I was just doing my daily meditation and just having time to myself.
Like many of us do, she decided to capture the beautiful day on her phone, but she was surprised to find what she had recorded. The video shows multiple people riding on top of the train.
Look at that.
We slowed the video down so you can get a better look.
Look at that. They really think that this is a Marvel or a superhero movie. Y'all know those action scenes. You ever seen Mission Impossible? They on top of the train. Or Tom Cruise is doing whatever he's doing. And they're running on the train. They're trying to, do the impossible in the movie, right? Well, it's a movie. And literally, you see them right here. One step One step wrong, one shake wrong on that train, one misstep, they're on the other side. And there's nothing over there, right? They could either fall off and they drop all the way down to the ground, or they drop onto the tracks and they truly hurt themselves. And then another train, who knows? So many possibilities, but they truly think that they are in Mission Impossible right now, just for some clicks and just for some views. This breaks my heart.
You see, as the first person goes by, then two people next to one another, and behind them, another person who appears to be crouching.
I know that the
Wow.
J train is very common because it's on top, like it's outside.
Other residents I spoke with say subway surfing has become a big problem on this particular line.
I saw some kids on top of the train. They go in between the cars and they jump on top of the train.
According to police, at least 3 people have died in New York City this year alone from subway surfing.
Man, this right here truly breaks my heart. It truly breaks my heart to see that our young children, especially these young girls who lost their lives trying to go for a viral moment, this breaks my heart for them to even lose their life in this silly way. They had their whole lives ahead of them, and now it's just gone in an instant, all because they just wanted a viral moment for social media, just to be the cool person in the room, all because of something that they would have been forgotten about by next week. That's how quick social media is. And it's sad to see. And I just want our young children, I want our youth, I want them to stay grounded in the Lord. I want them to stay grounded in their Christian and God-given purpose in order for them to hopefully be safe whenever certain situations arise, because you're going to be tempted with temptation. You will be. I was truly tempted with temptations, whether there was drugs around or whether there was alcohol, whether there was other situations that were placed in front of me. But also at the same time, I had my training, I had my, Christian foundation. I had the things that I know that I've gone through in order to say, nah, I don't think I'm gonna do that. Nah, no, guys, I know, man. I don't think I'm going to participate in that because I just, nah, that just ain't me. All because I just knew morally within me, it's just like, it just wasn't right. It just wasn't right. So hopefully, this could be a wake up call for our youth these days to say, yeah, it looks cool on social media, but do you understand that that person was probably about to be unalived? It might not be worth it jumping in between the cars to just get a viral moment. We have to do better. Now, the Bible warns us about this kind of thinking, this kind of thought process. If we look at Proverbs chapter 14, I want to read verses 11 through 13. And it says, the house of the wicked will be destroyed, but the tent of the upright will flourish. There is a way that seems right to a man, but its end is the way to death. Even in laughter, the heart may ache, and the end of joy may be grief. What seems to be fun for a time, what seems to be cool, what seems to be so harmless in that particular moment can lead to destruction if we don't have the wisdom, if we don't have the guidance that's guiding us properly. And that's why we need to teach our young people. That's why we need to teach our youth that life is sacred. God gave us this one life to be a blessing to others and to be a blessing on while we're here. God gave us this one life. Then we don't need to risk it all for people who's just going to forget about us tomorrow, who's going to forget about our name in an instant. We don't need to risk our lives for that. We need to stay grounded in our God-given purpose. So I just want to say to any young person that's watching this, especially my fellow Christian brothers and sisters in Christ, that you are worth way more than a viral moment. You are worth way more than a viral video. You don't have to risk your life for that just for some clicks and views, and people are going to forget about you tomorrow. But guess what? God's love is everlasting. God's purpose and God's grace in you is everlasting. It's not temporary. It's no temporary validation. It's everlasting validation. So I just want you to understand that before you think about risking your life doing things like this. And also to the parents, also to any other pastors or anybody who's a spiritual leader or even influencers, even like myself. That's why I'm talking about this right now. This should be a wake-up call. This should be a wake-up call that we have to lean into this generation. We have to help this generation, guide them to be on the right direction, because guess what? We made mistakes too, but their mistakes that they're making could be life-altering. And we have to help them see that we have to get them on their purpose, and we have to get them in front of God, and hopefully God can have their everlasting hand on them and guide them in the right directions, and hopefully help them to make better decisions. Because I get it. I was young too. I made stupid decisions, but at the same time, I still had the foundation to say this wasn't right. So I just want to help them see that who they are. They are way more than the viral moment. I want them to look in the mirror and say, I am more than this. I am more than trying to validate myself on social media for people who probably just don't care about me. And they're going to just forget about me in an instant. Okay? So if this message spoke to you, please make sure you share it with somebody in order to help them out. And please, let's get this conversation started, man. I don't want to see our young people, fall away. And I don't want to see our young people get unalived over silly moments like this. So hopefully this video has been helpful. If it did, please do me a quick favor by hitting that like button, subscribing if you enjoy more faith-based content, and please share this with your family and friends so that we can be a blessing to each other. My name is Rod Brown, and I truly appreciate you all, and I'll see you in the next one. Be blessed.